Alright, folks, welcome to episode 78 of the wee podcast. Phil here by Clarky.
Hello.
Oh, very sensual hello there, Clarky. So today we're going to talk about insecurity. Maybe that's what you just said hello for.
Have a nice evening.
So we're going to talk about insecurity. Make sure you got a nice little cup of tea or coffee for the what's trending.
Nice.
Because it's going to get
Dipping
crumbly.
into it.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Sounds dirty.
Just restart this all over again. We'll just never talk ever again. And then part 3, we're going to talk about
Destiny.
Yeah.
Season of Opulence. Coming
to your
June.
door. We're going to talk about Destiny Season of Opulence coming the 4th of June and our opinions on what it will be like.
Mm-hmm. Also a bit of a throwback to the previous 2 DLCs as well. Of the season
annual pass.
Annual pass, yeah.
Yeah. So strap yourselves in, folks. Woo! Insecurities, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Sad time, innit?
If you have them, yeah.
Do you reckon you have any insecurities?
According to a test we did before we came on,
We came on. Don't be saying about coming on.
we did it beforehand because
Woo! We did.
because it was like a picture one, so it wouldn't have been very good to do on this. But basically it was BuzzFeed.
Sure, you could just show it to the camera.
Oh, that's ridiculous. It was on BuzzFeed.com. It was a quiz called "The Simple Picture Test Will Reveal Your Deepest Insecurity." He went down, basically said positive, neutral, or negative, how the picture made you feel, and it gave you an answer, basically.
Yeah, well, I'd like to know how they came to that conclusion, but I suppose you can retake it though, which is pretty pointless.
Yeah, if you don't like it, then you can just try again.
Don't like. I should have nothing here.
But I did only take it the once. You only take it the once?
Well, I had to take it twice because I still did the same one anyway.
Oh, right, fair enough.
But I had to take it twice because whenever I loaded it, it refreshed itself. So.
Oh well, that was only a wee eye. That wasn't your fault.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So what answer did you get?
I got, you're very ambitious. That's it. No. But your fear of failure can overwhelm you.
Mm-hmm.
You have big aspirations, so you've set a very high bar for yourself. Consequently, you worry a lot about the future and about falling short of those lofty expectations. These concerns will often interfere with your work, which only compounds the problem.
Right. Okay. Mine was different.
Yes, do tell.
I got you're a confident person, but you still can't help but compare yourself to others. So you're by no means an unhappy person, and you feel pretty comfortable in your own skin, but you still can't seem to stop yourself from comparing your accomplishments with the accomplishments of others and feeling envious when you think you've fallen short.
So we both have things about falling short.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Odd.
Don't know. Do you believe yours or to an extent?
Yeah, I guess to an extent, yeah.
Yeah.
But like it depends. Like for example, like you don't compare like somebody who's on a different job to what you are, like that sort of thing. I think it's different. Like, but I suppose an example we would use quite often would be like gaming, where like if you were playing like a 2-player playing with someone else in PvP online or something, and they get like 45 kills and you get 9, and you're like, that's so annoying.
Yeah. Don't know. I mean,
but even though you could have played a really good game for you,
yeah,
but you're still like, oh my god, that's so annoying.
See,
I'm so far behind.
I don't think like that. Thankfully, I'm just, if I get 9 kills, what I put it down to is lag.
Yeah.
No, I just sort of, it doesn't really matter. Like, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, I was playing Rocket League the other day with like randoms and stuff, and sometimes it would get like 3 goals, and then sometimes we'd get none and get like 2 points and be like, oh my god, what am I doing? But I'm not gonna get myself down about it. Like, not that you would or anything like that.
No, well, I mean, if we're to go by the definition, because we know we love those, it's actually uncertainty or anxiety about oneself or a lack of confidence. So I suppose would that be more like, for like, I don't know, where you'd be like, I'm rubbish at this, even though you're probably not, just the other person would be particularly good.
Well, we did talk about talents though, like 2 weeks ago, to be fair, and you were saying about certain things that you said you weren't obviously as good at gaming as you would like to be, but It's not an insecurity though, is it? It's
No,
just,
I don't really care.
exactly. So
It would be nice to be better. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
Suppose
it'd
if it was the like, if it was your job.
Oh, that would be.
If gaming was your job, like,
that'd be pretty
I really
important.
should be better at
It should
gaming,
be better.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's a casual sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Insecurities is a weird one, really, because it, like you said, you could just be really bad at stuff and just not care about it. Or, but then if you care about it, is that an insecurity then, or? Do you know what
I think it has to be, but like, it's weird. Like, it is a weird one because there's obviously, you know, I looked into a few wee bits and pieces about it, but like, these tend to be sort of driven by. I took a really big gap there, but these tend to be like
It's paused actually. Jeez, you did as well. Oh my god!
I know these tend to be like sort of you'll understand or everyone will understand when we get into it, that it's sort of internal and external. It's not all to do with you.
Yeah.
So like,
that's right.
I suppose. Well, I'll go through. I'll tell you what the 3 titles are, and then we can even have a chat around them. So like, there's insecurities based on recent failure or rejection. There's lack of confidence because of social anxiety, and then the third one's insecurity driven by perfectionism. So like, in short, well, the first one, insecurity based on recent failure or rejection, is fairly self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But there's some like some nice facts in here. So I'll read the little intro because it is good. It's like, recent events in our lives can greatly affect both our mood and the way we feel about ourselves. Research on happiness suggests that up to 40% of our happiness is based on recent life events.
Right.
So, and then the biggest negative contributor to happiness is the ending of a relationship, followed by the death of a spouse or a family.
Wait a minute, what?
So
First
like,
one is
the ending of a relationship.
so it's not the second one. It's not the first one. That's unreal.
But they would happen more often. So like, and it doesn't just mean like a relationship, like a girlfriend. It could also be like friends. It could be a colleague. It could be whatever. But like, there's more of those to lose.
I understand.
Much.
Yeah, I suppose statistically that would make sense. Yeah.
Followed by job loss and then negative health events like being sick and stuff, which is again,
if you get the flu, like, you're pretty much
you're
down.
down, like,
yeah. Sometimes trying to watch TV or even look at your phone's hard because of the screen.
pardon me. What, sorry?
So I just said.
What, the coughing thing?
Yeah, pardon me. No.
Oh.
I said whenever you whenever you got the flu, you got a cold or something, you can't even watch like TV because of the screen so bright.
You're like,
yeah, you just like,
you get your eye. Nobody can see what I'm doing. You get your eyes like crinkled together. Like,
and all you need to do then is just turn off the TV and just lie in bed and go,
just end it all.
Yeah, it's awful. Like, but I just thought if you were to measure it by pain, like I would assume everyone would be like, well, the death of someone is probably worse than an end of a relationship, surely.
You'd think, yeah, almost certainly.
Yeah.
Obviously, if for example you were to go out with someone and you were to be in a relationship and to be in the same friend group or workplace,
yeah,
and then you have to see them over and over and over, and it's just the same. But then the thing is that eventually that could be turned into maybe a friendship or a normal sort of thing. Whereas death is very final, and any regrets stay, etc. But it's got a nice wee bit here as well, which is, since unhappiness also influences your self-esteem, failure and rejection can deliver a double whammy to your confidence.
A double whammy.
That's literally what it says. So they go on to say then that those of us who have lower self-esteem to begin with are more reactive to failure. So it's like as if losing your job, then say for example you were to fall out with your mates, then what that could then do in turn is for you to go, I told you were an idiot. Because you would so like to yourself.
I was gonna say.
No, do you know what I mean? Like, or this is because you're not funny, or this is because that you're this. Because it just draws on negative emotion instead of playing on your positives. So, but then they go on to say this, which is, it may help to understand that failure is a nearly ubiquitous experience.
Yeah.
Before giving the example, before becoming president, Abraham Lincoln lost his job, was defeated for nomination to Congress, and failed twice in Senate bids. Persevering despite setbacks can lead to eventual successes.
Very true. Yeah.
That's
why I don't agree with my one. Mine doesn't make any sense. My little thingamajig, but
what?
my answer thing there about failure, fear of failure.
Yeah, so like
I feel a lot of the time like I'm grand.
Everyone does. That's what I think is really funny. Like
Strange.
the things that people focus on, or whenever people are successful, but you think about it, like how many times have, now this may be a silly example, but like the likes of Samsung release something and it just been terrible or not work.
Listen, my phone's here. You leave it
But
alone.
you know what I mean? Or even Apple, releasing certain updates or
do you remember
actual
Apple Maps?
yeah, like never used that in my life.
Yeah.
But like, or Google, whenever they released "Hey Go," or like you know, like all the things that they've released that just haven't worked.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
failures are part of life. Like you just have to get on with.
But like, obviously that's just companies. But then you know, you think again, like everybody that's famous now. Think how many times they didn't get a job, or how many times they didn't book a place in the cast or something, or whatever.
Yeah,
it just takes one.
Exactly.
But basically, at the end of each of these, they give you like a short rundown of potential ways to get over, or get round, to overcome the failure or rejection based insecurity. So this one they said, give yourself time to heal and actually adapt to what you now consider to be the new normal.
Okay.
Which is, I think, pretty good.
Yeah.
Get out and engage with life, following your own interests and your own curiosities. Don't be influenced by others. Reach out to friends and family for distraction and comfort when you need it. Get feedback from people you trust. That one I quite like, because they can sometimes see things in you that
you wouldn't see otherwise.
And persevere and keep moving towards your own goals, but be willing to try a different strategy if necessary.
See, there was this thing I seen, like this was years ago. Could have even been in school or tech or something, but it was like not an insecurity class, but it was, if you know what I mean. Like it wasn't a formal thing, but it was like you get like this bit of paper or something, and you pass it to it goes around like in a room. You're all in a circle, and you like have this bit of paper, and you write something on it, and then you give it to the next person to your right, and then you open it, and they're like, "Oh, that's nice." And then they write something on it and go, there's your person. So they would sort of,
right,
you know what I mean? Like
they would write something about you.
Yeah, well, the left person would write something about you, and then you'd write something about the next person.
Oh, right.
But you would obviously know each other, you know, prior to doing that. So you so the question could be like, you know, write something, or you know, write something that you see that, like you said, like they might not see or something, or their biggest quality, or just, you know, whatever else. And
very good.
it's like, oh, that's nice.
Nice wee confidence builder.
And then you write one on below that one, and you go, there you go, Billy.
Yeah, and they take it on.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
And the last one gets an insult and then rips it up. That's not what happens.
Just I can't. That's the one.
Can you imagine? Sorry, man.
Which actually is just nice in the type 2, which is lack of confidence because of social anxiety. So now, one thing I will say in the back of this is most people at some point in their lives will suffer from social anxiety.
Oh yeah,
where they don't feel particularly comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
Excuse me. Now, be that at a party or a gathering,
or in church.
Interview is a really, really good one. Like that's
it's
somewhere.
Not social though, is it?
Well, I would say that whenever it's like social, it doesn't have to mean like, oh, we're having a good time. It just means being somewhere with other people
and talking to them.
So like sitting there and them asking you questions, know you're being judged, probably, you know, all that sort of stuff. So, but again, the way they start this is nice. I'm just going to read it. So, the fear of being evaluated by others and found to be lacking can lead you to feel anxious and self-conscious, and as a result, you may avoid social situations, experience anxiety when you anticipate social events, or feel self-conscious and uncomfortable during them. Now, obviously, as I say, most people have at some point or another, but I would put that a lot down to maybe past experiences as well.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's if something sort of traumatizes you or something, or even if you can just remember. I mean, sometimes whenever you walk into your room, you could, like, if you've ever done like public speaking or something, you know, and say if it didn't go well or something, and you walked into your room, because I've seen a few things where even on YouTube, someone describes their social anxiety, and people have described their lack of ability to be able to talk in front of a big group, and they've done like a, what do you call it, like a reenactment of them walking into a room full of their friends, and then getting like flashbacks of whenever they were
in the
room with like hundreds of people or whatever, and sometimes it could just freak you out like instantly.
Brain's mad, isn't
it? It is. It thinks in so many weird. I just never thought of, like, because obviously I've never felt that before. Like even with public speaking, like obviously you do it in school anyway, but it's not as much as, it's not like 100 people. It's like 10 or however many people would be in your classroom, whatever. But I never thought of walking into a room and being like, ugh! You know what I mean? Like there's 100 people.
He
in
left the
here.
book up to scream.
But you know what I mean? Like the way some people sort of interpret that, I've just never had that, so obviously I wouldn't have known had I not watched that video what it would be like. But yeah, people do it all the time. It's weird. So they could walk into a certain situation and see like two people, and they could just think back to a certain memory or something. So past experiences, I would say, would be a big factor.
One. Yeah. Which is basically, remember what I mentioned earlier about how it's not only yourself but external factors.
Yeah.
Sort of links into past experience as well. Because the next bit again,
what sort of makes you type of thing.
Yeah, like for example, they give the example: if you grew up with critical parents, or parents who pressurized you to be popular or successful, you may also be oversensitized to how others perceive you. So, like, if your parents are always like, "Oh, you come on, you got like a B, like come on, like what happened to the A or whatever," or "Oh, you gonna join the rugby team? Or are you going out with your friends? Are you doing this?" You know, all of a sudden you might be sort of thinking, "I really hope they like me so that I'm not letting anybody down," and you know all that sort of stuff.
Parenting's hard, like.
Yeah, I can imagine it is.
Imagine you're the reason your kid grows up to be an absolute agent, like.
Yeah, well, again, like I heard this quote one time that basically you bring your kids up until they're old enough to go to secondary school, and then other kids bring them up for you.
Yeah, I suppose it's true.
Like because I think until like the end of primary school, because teachers are still very hands on. It's one teacher the whole way through.
What school did you go to?
There's a joke in there.
Very poor words.
Basically, you know what I mean? Like it's literally one teacher that's there for you the whole day, bar lunch. Yeah. Whereas in secondary school,
your break?
or in secondary school, like you move from class to class 5-6 times a day, whatever.
And sometimes you actually get to know the teachers.
Exactly.
Throughout your years.
So like you're almost brought up with like, because then again in primary school you don't go like out for like the whole day with your mates. You have to come back in and eat or whatever. Well, not very often anyway, but certainly in secondary school you would do that. But basically, in regards to the oversensitivity, this type of insecurity is generally based on distorted beliefs about your own self-worth and about the extent to which other people are evaluating you. Most of the time people will actually be more focused on how they're coming across than on judging others, which is a good point. Those who do judge and exclude are often covering up insecurities of their own, and so their opinions may be less than accurate. They may value superficial attributes instead of character and integrity, which is where you would see like, now this isn't obviously real life, but like that's the way.
Is this real life?
In like TV shows, they would always sort of put the popular guys and girls as like the attractive group that are a bit of like bitchy and stuff. Whereas
it's always that just seems like a stereotype for like America though, isn't it? Like that's the problem.
Yeah. But I think that links really well in with that, like, and you do find that their parents most of the time are like, "Oh, why are you not doing this?" Or, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe they are
the
like
majority
the
of the time their
typical
parents
type
are
too.
like pricks.
Yeah.
In most shows are like, you know, they are quite sort of.
Oh, you got a 94.
Overbearing.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like whenever I was your age, I was doing blah blah blah.
Exactly, and I think
my
that
head
is
in
type
those
2.
shows. Yeah.
This is literally like the, excuse me, the lack of confidence because of social anxiety. Maybe that is because the way the parents get on.
It's weird how that sort of stuff can just
and again,
switch your mind. Like.
Wee ways to potentially deal with it. Talk back to your inner critic.
Yeah, so, didn't really have ways.
Yeah, wee ways to.
Wee ways? Is that what you? Is this the?
Yeah, wee ways to from Wee podcast. So talk back to your inner critic and remind yourself of the reasons that you can be interesting or fun. Prepare in advance if you're really, really concerned. So like think of some things you can speak about, current events, movies, what you enjoy.
See,
job.
that can lead into different things as well, because I've also seen a few things where people have been like, would they like this? Would they like that? And it's like you're thinking far too much into it then.
But if you talk about things you're comfortable with, and you're comfortable, but that was like something I seen in Queer Eye one time. They made a guy who was like, he had seriously bad like social anxiety, it was crazy. Yeah. And they took him to like a group. He was really into like anime in Japan and stuff. And they took him to a group in a local in his town that he didn't know existed. And he kept like coming back over and all to the guys and being like, I can't do this. Yeah. And they were like, they like the same stuff you do. Like they're not gonna judge you. And then it shows you him like at the end of the show, like whatever amount of time later, and he's like best mates and all.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
See, I like that sort of stuff, but
That's obviously not always the case.
no, people do they just get into this hole and they just keep going, they just fall down it. Like it's like a never ending hole. It's ridiculous. Like, because
Yep.
it is hard to talk about things whenever I can even talk. Never mind. Whenever you can talk about things that you want to talk about. So whenever it comes down to, say, if you want to talk to a specific person, you're thinking about how many things that they like that you have in common with them and stuff, and it's a nightmare sometimes. I've seen like read so much on like social anxiety from friends growing up with social anxiety, trying to help them and trying to, because it is tough, like, but the majority of the time it was all just music we ended up talking about, which seemed to
Works.
Yeah, well, it worked, yeah, because
It is finding that common ground, and like this is going to take away point 3 entirely, but basically, like, you know from experience as well that like it tends to be that once they're there in the situation that and things start to just flow, that it just dissipates. It just seems to go away. Like there is no
animosity or anything. There's no atmosphere that you're
it just everything feels more comfortable and
sometimes the drink helps as well, like, you know.
Well, yeah, it would. Exactly.
Calms you down.
Just it does sometimes. It just loosens the.
It is an icebreaker type of thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it just sort of.
People always say having a social pint.
Yeah, have we drink.
Oh, we drank, yeah. We dram.
And the next one down then, set yourself a limited and realistic goal, and that could be anything to talking to somebody new in the area that you're in, like in the party or whatever, or asking somebody that you do know maybe something you didn't already know, like why do you like doing that or whatever.
Why are you a serial killer?
Why are your trousers done? So
constantly every day.
And then deliberately focus on others to combat your intense self-focus. So like start to think and notice about like other people are doing, like, oh, did you get a haircut, did you change your shoes? I don't know, like
that was always the worst thing. Did you get a haircut? No.
I got them all cut. But yeah, like that one there, like that one seems a bit more, that one seems slightly more complicated for me.
Yeah,
because there's more variables.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
things can change very quickly whenever you were to do that. Yeah, but again, focus on other people. I suppose if you were just to focus on what they want to talk about, then it means you can sort of reply and just sort of not have to worry about anything else. Literally anything else in your head.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I also agree that the flowers are red. Even though it is a fact, but you know. Do you know what I mean? I just stop talking about But I mean, see other people, like we watched that on Dateable. Well, I used to watch on Dateable years ago and see the people on that have social anxiety. Like,
they would write down their questions.
Write down their questions and stuff, and then talk to like someone that they would feel comfortable talking to, like their mum or their dad or something, and then it helps whenever they go out and about, like, which is it's strange how things like that work. It really is. I just don't get it. I just don't know how your mind just goes, you're alright, mate, don't worry about it, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing how it works, but I mean, if it was me, I'd be like I'd write the question down, like I remember all this and then go out,
hand in the sheet. Just write your answers.
Could you imagine? Take yes or no. If they're all no, then don't come back.
I suppose that's where type 3 would come in, which is insecurity driven by perfectionism. So you're saying about you don't understand how people do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's probably because we would have fairly high standards on how we would do things. So you may want the highest grades or the best job.
Yeah.
Whatever, most gorgeous apartment, house, whatever. Piano. Basically the way they put it here is, unfortunately, life doesn't always turn out exactly the way we want, even if we work extra hard. There's a piece of the outcome now this is a bit where everyone needs to take a bit of solace. There's a piece of the outcome that is at least to some degree completely out of our control. Your boss may be critical, jobs may be scarce, partners may resist commitment, or you may have genes that make it difficult to be skinny. If you're constantly disappointed and blaming yourself for being anything less than perfect, then you're going to feel insecure and unworthy. While trying your best and working hard can give you an advantage, other aspects of perfectionism that are unhealthy, beating up on yourself and constantly worry about not being good enough.
Yeah. That's a lot to take in. that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and that's one that, like, they actually mention at the end of this, actually, that can lead to the depression, anxiety,
Yeah,
eating disorders.
It's mad.
You know, all that.
Everything's
Where
all
you're pushing
connected,
yourself to 110 all the time.
Yeah.
Whenever, you know, as they mentioned there, like, you know, people that throw everything at a relationship or even at a friendship, and you know what, the other person just might not care.
Yeah, exactly. It's
no matter what you do.
The thing is, that like nothing even prepares you for that. Like,
it can't, because
it's just
putting in effort and getting nothing back is crap.
100%. Yeah.
You know, like whenever
we do that with gaming, we do that with life anyway. Like, I mean, it's weird. Yeah. Everything all just seems like mold together. But I mean, nothing even in school could prepare you for that unless you were falling out of friendship with like everyone. Well, I hate you. Oh, look at the you know. It's like literally impossible. Well, it might not be impossible, like, but I mean, I certainly wasn't. Like, I was a nice fella in school, and then life happened, and then now I'm not. It's just what happens, like. But yeah, it's weird how all that sort of stuff can just, it's like a line, and once you hit like a bump, you're going down the different line. It's going straight down to anxiety, to depression, to like you said, eating disorders and stuff. I think it's awful, absolutely awful.
It is, but it's just unfortunately the way some people see as their only way, for example, to get skinny is, oh, I'm gonna not eat, or I'm gonna do the thing where I pretend to eat but I'm not, and you know,
like bulimia.
That's when we'd be sick.
Yeah, you eat and then you go.
And like,
I think what he called had that, wasn't it? John Prescott or something had that.
Did he?
One of the presidents.
Prime Minister?
One of the politicians.
He wasn't a prime minister.
No, he wasn't. No.
No, I didn't know that. But
bulimia at some point.
That's crazy. But
I know, considering.
Yeah, so but again, that's probably one of those high stress jobs that you know I don't look like. I feel like I should, and you know, perfectionism could have come into that. That whole perfectionism thing as well. I totally get that sometimes.
I'm the same.
Where like no matter what you do, like be like, no matter how hard you try at one thing or another, you know, you might do reasonably well, but you're not hitting exactly where you think you should be, or you know, I don't know if it's work or promotion or whatever. Like,
even if it's something, even like with like running or sports, like you set yourself a goal and it could be realistic, but you're just not hitting it.
My goal is in June. I've already told Ali, so I'm pretty much stuck with it. Is I'm gonna try and run 50 miles.
Okay.
In the entire month.
Right.
Which I've never done before in a month.
Well, if I just drive behind you with a car, I think you'd be alright. Yeah, if you're
scrubbed,
you're a bit tired, you could just fall back in the bottom, like it'd be warm.
Stop in 10 miles. But like, but
I'll keep my legs moving so it looks like I'm running.
It works out at like what, 1.5 something miles a day, 1.6 miles a day. Yeah. So realistically,
it'd be fine.
If I did 2, 3, maybe the odd time 4, 5Ks a week, that'll get me 50. So that's the whole thing, is that like beforehand, what I would do is do 2, 3 runs and then just start going to the gym and then not run. So like I said to Ali, to keep me honest, like we're gonna try and do that. So
it's good.
We'll see how we get on.
Set yourself some goals.
But which I suppose is sort of going back to that previous set of achievable, hopefully, goal. But what they say in regards to the perfectionism one, and ways to sort of combat that is, try to evaluate yourself based on how much effort you put in, which is controllable, rather than on the outcome, which is dependent on external factors as well. So if you do all you can and it doesn't come off, which happens, obviously, then as annoying as that may be, you can't say that you didn't do your best, and there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes things just conspire against you, and that's just the way it is. And
that's what I always say, like, if you can't control it, then why worry about it? Like,
that's the most annoying part, though.
What, the not worrying?
No, the not being able to control something.
Well, I mean, it's life though, isn't it? I mean, you can't if you could control everything, everyone would be president, or everyone would, you know what I mean? If you could control something like that, everyone would have $100,000 a day jobs, you know.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
But that's what I'm saying. If you can control that, you make your own life, man. You can't sort of just expect everything, you know. It kind of sucks, like, but at the same time, it is the most annoying part, like. But I mean, I agree. Sometimes there's points you can't not worry about it, but sort of have to kick yourself up the butt and be like, yeah, do you know what? What's the point? What's it gonna change tomorrow or today or whatever? Like,
which is where point 2 comes in, which is think about how much difference it would actually have made if your work was 10% better. Would the time and energy spent in checking and rechecking or answering every email really be worth it?
To you, it would be, because it would give you a sense of accomplishment.
I don't
to
know.
an extent.
Like, see, if you think
it
about
depends
it, right?
on the job, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the problem.
Imagine you've done a task, right? Whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, and you've done literally as much. Like, you know yourself, I could not have done any more, right?
Yeah.
But then you think, if I'd have done 10% more, would I have got more done? Probably not.
No, probably. But I mean, again, it depends on a certain job. Like, I mean, there's always that thing where if you have that amount of work done today, you'll have less to do tomorrow, and you know it could free up certain. But I mean, it depends on the job. It does depend on the job. 100% it does, because it doesn't matter, because you could have 20 coming in for every 10 you do, so it wouldn't matter whatever it is.
Exactly.
But it does depend on the job. But I think if you're doing more in a job, sometimes it gives you that bit of, like, you know, accomplishment sort of feeling, or But I mean, sometimes you could do it like one day, like, oh, it was really good, and then the next day,
what happened there?
not doing that again, like, you know. So it really does. I think keeping that mentality is very tough.
No,
24/7.
No,
I
definitely.
think it's very, very tough.
Definitely.
And I think it's probably it's detriment. Like, there'd be no way you could continue your life like that every single day. It'd be very tough to do.
This is great. This is leading me point to point. So, but then you have to think of it this way. So the point 3 is perfectionism is often based on all or nothing thinking.
Yeah.
Find the grey areas. Is there a more compassionate or understanding way to view a situation? Are you taking your circumstances into account when you evaluate yourself? Is there something you learned or achieved even if the end result wasn't exactly perfect?
Well, yeah, so that would be that stuff.
That's exactly what we're finding. That's it's like almost exactly what you're saying there, which is that basically even if it hasn't come out right, you can still look at it in a way that there are positives hidden in amongst there.
It's weird, like, because you get, like, if you're in like an 8 or a 10 hour shift, or sometimes even a 12-hour shift, depending on where you're working, or, you know, whatever, but you could do so much more in one day, and the next day you could do like half that. And just be like, Jesus, but it's not like to be self-critical of yourself or anything like that, because that's just a silly way to look at it. Just some days you're gonna have bum days, you're gonna have bad days.
Oh, they suck, yeah.
And
those are the days that, see, once it hits the end, you're just like,
thank God.
Oh my goodness.
But then it's even worse that you gotta get home.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get home, like, 4 hours until I gotta go to bed. You know, it's like, really, yeah.
Well then, again, this is sort of leading on from that. So perfectionists also often actually have what's called conditional self-esteem, which is they like themselves when they're on top and dislike themselves when things don't go their way.
That's the point. You gotta stop doing that, don't you?
But you know, but obviously some people would struggle with this, which is where the whole thing is you know what, I'm doing really well at the minute. I've got a great KD. I've got I've just been promoted in work. Marriage is going great, or I've got a great girlfriend, we've just moved into a new house, you know, whatever. But then in 6 months it's like, well, I haven't moved house, I haven't been promoted, things aren't as rosy as they were,
my KD's dropped.
KD has dropped. But instead of just going like, well, I'm still well above average in whatever game, Call of Duty, whatever.
Call of Duty.
You know, I'm still very fortunate to have the job. I'm still very fortunate to have a partner that lives with me and is happy to do so, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Like, they'll not see it that way. They'll see it, but whoa, it was way better 6 months ago. Why is it not like that now?
It's very tough to even think about that sort of stuff, though. Like, you can't. That's just not my mentality at all. I just think if you're thinking about that sort of stuff, then you're gonna feel at some point, like, constantly. You know, you can't have that.
They suggest that you focus on inner qualities, like your own character, your sincerity, your good values, things like that. Which I'd agree with.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the most sense, really, because that can sort of make you feel a bit better and a bit happier. But I mean, having to focus on things that you have, like, it's just, or things that you don't have, and it just didn't work like that. It doesn't end well at all, I don't think.
No, it doesn't. I agree. I think that focusing on things that you again those are sort of things you can't really control.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You know?
well, once you've done it, fair enough. If you want to do it again or whatever. I mean, I suppose it's a different like moving house once. I think that's enough for at least like 10 to 15 years. That if you want to ever have a kid or do whatever else, if you're in a better job and you want to move into a bigger place, or if you want to move into a smaller place,
Depends what your circumstances
exactly.
are.
I mean, you can't just expect everything just because everything's going right once.
Yeah.
In a blue moon, like, I mean, unless you've got.
Now, obviously, that example I gave was very severe. Like,
No, but I mean, you could have a promotion in that month, or you could also move house within that month as well. But I mean, you could also get a dog.
Yeah.
You can get different. You could obtain different things, but the next month you could get nothing at all. And be like, Jesus, last month was amazing, and this month's just been crap. Like, you could go out every weekend, like the last month.
Yeah.
And the next month you're like, this is terrible. Haven't out once. But it's the small things they got there. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just sort of focus on. To me, I always think that whenever I think we're all fortunate that we're able to go out and stuff, and because some people just sit in the house all the time and just don't care about it.
But again, I suppose it depends if they're insecure and they
That's
don't
what I'm
really
saying,
want to
like,
go out, or
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, like some people, for example, just don't like
Socializing at all.
well, even like some people don't like celebrities.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Or like people that are not even that famous, but that they would look at them and sort of go, well, I don't like them. Why not? Because people think they're attractive, or because they're talented, or because of this, that, and the other. Like, that is insecurity over, in my opinion, nothing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's only me. There are people that will look at, I don't know, like a singer or an actor or whatever, and sort of go, oh, well, I'm going to say I don't like them, or this, that, or the other, because someone else or whatever thinks they're good or attractive or whatever. Like, there's also that side of things, which I suppose that would probably almost link back to the first one. It wouldn't really be social or perfection. Yeah. It'd probably be like not a failure as such, but like almost like a rejection. And you know what I mean?
I mean, like you said, like sometimes relationships, because you just burn people out. Like, after a relationship is done, they could be like, oh Jesus, I'm doing that again, and then hate everything, and they could just spawn all these different feelings for the silliest of things, really. But I think it's weird because, like, again, I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube and stuff that people have got over these sort of insecurities and these fears, as some people call them, because they were scared to get in relationships or scared to get close to anybody at all, and they just sort of, one of their siblings, friends or something, brought them out with them one night, and they just like literally said, I'm not taking no for an answer, let's go out. And then from that night out, they just had a good time. And it's strange how they hated going out, like hated it, didn't like interact with anyone, didn't like spending money, because they thought if they spent any money they're gonna go broke and have no flat and have nothing. Like, it's just that overthinking. That
sounds like insecurity gone anxiety, depression.
Yeah, 100%. But
like,
I mean, like, spending, because they were in their house for I think like 2.5 years or something.
Straight.
Yeah, like they didn't leave. They went to work.
Yeah.
And then they came home and that was it. They didn't.
Goodness.
So you think the amount of money they would have saved? Depending if they got, I don't know, if they got like Amazon orders or something. But I mean, they would still save more than what they would if they were going out every day or going out every weekend or whatever.
True.
But they were really, really scared about spending any money because they didn't want. Like, if the rent was to go up or anything, like,
just in case.
Can't pay
I need
that.
to make sure I've got
I need to have milk, need to have bread, need to have all this stuff, and like, I mean, people's minds are so weird. Like, and having that mentality would break you down. But then that person came along, brought them out for one night, and we're like, it's not so bad. Like,
you'll be fine. Yeah.
So they're like, I just wasted 2.5 years of my life just sitting in the house, which is. You need to catch yourself on before you get to that point. Like, or not catch yourself on, but you need to sort of talk to someone or figure out what the problem is or where it's coming from.
It still baffles me how often that comes up as a method,
as a topic.
Just like a method of getting like ahead of something or fixing or helping is just literally talk to someone you trust. Yeah. Talk to a doctor, talk to whoever.
Yeah, do you remember that advert for years ago? It was like the Northern. I can't even remember what it was for, but it was
the guy took his mask off when everyone left. No.
No, it was. What was
Do you remember that one?
No.
He was like getting on all happy and all, and then as soon as they all left, he took his face off.
Oh yes,
and then he was like,
yes, that's,
he was like all sad.
yeah. No, I remember there was one that was like, I think it was probably about depression and stuff, but the guy was like, talk to your partner, and he goes, talk to your doctor. I was like,
No,
what?
I don't remember.
I was seeing because that's what stuck with in my mind. I was like, talk to your doctor. I was like, where are you from? He was from Belfast, obviously.
No,
No,
I've
like
never
a proper
seen it.
Belfast accent, but I think it was like for like anxiety or depression or something like. But it was like
I should laugh.
talk to you. No, I know, but it was just like. But obviously, I mean, the way he got on, it was like, how did they think that was okay to shoot and save that? Okay,
I suppose
like,
it worked.
talk to your doctor. Well,
See, you
yeah,
remember
it saved
it,
it in
so.
my mind, like yeah, but I don't remember what the advert was about. That's a problem. You know, too much to think about what he's talking about. But yeah, no, it's just strange things like little insecurities, but. Hopefully he ever has any. I'm sure we both have some, but
Oh, almost certainly. But those are the wee. Well, we did a wee test, sure.
we did. But I mean, mine was I don't understand mine at all. But
those are three wee things I just thought were fairly interesting.
yeah, hopefully it
Nice.
helps someone if anyone is suffering from any sort of insecurity or anything like that. But we'll leave that part there, folks, and we'll catch you in part 2. Alright folks, welcome back to part 2. What's trending? Obviously the best things trending this week.
Okay, me.
Biscuits.
Okay, biscuit. Second best thing.
Yeah, well this is biscuits in the UK because biscuits in America isn't what we think
No,
they
it's
are.
like
biscuits and gravy.
yeah, it's like bread
Could
basically.
you imagine having biscuits on your McVitties? Just biscuits on your oh, gravy on your biscuits. Just here enough. Just put that there.
Are biscuits not what people call butts as well?
Like arse.
Oh, my biscuits, like your butt cheeks.
No, I don't think so.
No,
Oh, not.
oh, it should be.
Oh, my Jaffa cakes. Yeah.
All right, the McVitties.
It makes a whole new for Cadbury fingers, doesn't it? Get your Cadbury fingers at my biscuits. So you guys did a little poll.
Say little.
Yeah, between November 2017. So sorry, this poll is from among British adults asked between November 2017 and May 2019. So May this year.
Literally, like we have nothing better to do.
You go. What are you at? Like, so I'll go from 5 to 1. It's the top 5. So number 5. You'll laugh at these. Number 5 is McVitie's original digestives.
Okay.
69%.
What?
69%.
Liked it?
Yeah.
Okay.
4 Jaffa cakes.
Yeah, I'm on with that. Love Jaffa cakes.
73%. Right.
Love Jaffa cakes. Yeah.
Number 3 Cadbury milk chocolate digestives. 77%.
Good for that. Yeah.
Number 2 Cadbury fingers.
Yep. Unreal.
78%.
Do you ever do the thing where you bite each end and suck the tea up through the middle?
I don't
No.
eat them with tea.
Right. Well, see next time you have. See if you ever have them in your house. Right. Anyone can do this. I swear. Right. Obviously they're not very big anymore. They used to be bigger.
Yeah.
Right. But just off each end. Right.
Okay.
Put it in your tea and just go, and it comes up through the middle.
Okay.
It's amazing. Then it melts. So make sure you get it out of there fast. Because it will collapse in.
See, that's like the rich tea biscuits. They always melt very fast as well. I remember there was a time I had my tea and didn't realize how hot it really was. I could still drink it, but the tea the biscuits were like, nope, not having it. Put it.
Me and my lips itchy doing that.
Studio. Like,
It's like really tickling.
So I put my biscuit in, and like 2 seconds in, I lifted it out, plop. I was like, ah!
Well,
Had to get a spoon and all and lift it out.
no.
Well, you can't.
But it's
leave it
never
in.
as I know, but it's never as good. It's like ruined.
Oh,
It's like the
awful.
consistency of the biscuit is now like
mush.
yeah, it's just minging.
It's disgusting. So yeah, 78% were Cadbury fingers for number 2,
Yeah.
and number 1 were McVitie's milk chocolate digestives.
Wait,
So-
what was the third one?
Cadbury's milk chocolate digestives.
Oh, I was gonna be like, how have they snuck in there twice?
Well, I mean,
Okay, you know what? Actually,
like McVitie's and Cadbury are it because McVitie's make Jaffa cakes as well. So they've got 3
of the 5.
of the 5, and Cadbury have 2.
It's
And
all about that chocolate, though.
3 of them are all digestives, and 2 of them are just chocolate ones. One's
Do you know
Cadbury.
why they're
and-
called digestives? I don't. I'm just curious if you do.
I always assumed it was because it helps your digestive system,
That's the first thing I thought, but
but
I doubt that.
I can confirm they do not. But yeah, see, I don't mind.
Are there any honourable mentions that you can
No.
go down the list at all, or do you only see 5?
There's only 5.
You only see
top
the 5, okay.
yeah. Honourable mentions.
What would you honourably mention?
See, I'm not really much of a biscuit person. Is any problem? But I would my go-to biscuits would be Jaffa cakes and probably McVitie's chocolate digestives.
Right. So if I throw some at you, give me your opinions.
Whoa!
Not literally.
Stop it!
No,
that one's sore.
Pink Panther.
No.
Custard cream.
No.
The brown custard creams. I don't know what they're called. Bourbons.
Bourbons. Yes.
You go for them?
Or Bourbon, or whatever you want to call it.
I'd say bourbon. Like.
Bourbon.
What about tonics, tea cakes?
They're not biscuits.
Yes, they have to be.
They're tea cakes.
But they're in the biscuit aisle.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're in the sweetie aisle.
Nope.
Damn it. No, they're not biscuits though.
Caramel wafers.
The Tonics one or the Tesco ones? Because the Tesco ones are pretty good.
Well, I was just thinking of the one that's in like a red and gold.
They're Tonics, yeah.
Yeah, those.
They're the same guys that make the.
Oh, are they the same people? Right.
Yeah. There's also they make a caramel log. Now I know that sounds bad, but it tastes unreal. It
sounds unreal.
Roasted coconut right the side of it.
Nice.
Unreal. The only thing is it's a mess to eat.
I don't know what they're called. Right now, you might be able to help me. It's like a biscuit at the bottom, then there's jam, and then there's little marshmallow pokey up bits.
The Mikado type things.
It's something like that, but that's not the name of it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
They're not biscuits though, are they?
They are. They're also in the biscuit aisle.
But are they not in that little packet that have they're Mikado, are they not? No.
No, they're Mikado the sticks.
Oh.
But I know you know what I'm talking about, but I just don't know what they're called.
Yeah, they have the coconut on them.
Yeah, and they're unreal. And I can't. I love them. They're unreal.
Because they were the same ones that did the biscuit at the bottom and then the marshmallow with the pink and the white as well.
Pink and white? Is that a biscuit?
No, I would say that's more of a wafer. It's more of a wafer,
like an ice cream wafer. What about?
But no, I know what you're on about, but I don't know what they're called.
I like
quite
them
nice.
too.
Yeah.
It is something Ado. I'm almost certain.
Yeah.
I don't think that is Mikado though.
No,
those are the sticks. What other biscuits are great? I'm not a big fan of penguins. You up for those?
Yeah,
you like penguins?
I like the jokes.
Oh my god!
I like the jokes because do you actually downloaded an app the other day called Dad Jokes?
Right.
Best thing I've ever done in my life.
I love Dad Jokes.
They're so good.
They are good.
I'll tell you one now quickly.
Okay.
Because they're unreal. But no, biscuits.
Twix.
Yeah, Twix is good.
All up for Twixes.
Yeah.
Timeouts.
Yeah. See, whenever they were good, whenever they had the 2.
Oh, no,
now they only need the 1. So it's called timeout.
Like what are you trying to pull here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So why did the hipster down?
Why did the hipster down?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He went ice skating on the pond before it was cool.
Drown?
No, down.
I don't understand what down means.
He fell down.
Oh.
Really?
I thought it was like a hip term I didn't know.
Oh. He fell. Oh. Okay. Let's see.
That one ruined. I wasn't ready for that one.
Okay.
I was thinking too much.
Yeah. What did the traffic lights say to the car as it passed?
Don't know.
Don't look. I'm changing.
That's awful.
Conjunctivitis.com. Now that's a site for sore eyes. I need like that one. I need like that one.
That is good. Yeah, I do like that.
I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something. Honestly, I downloaded that. I was like, that was the best thing ever. It just whenever you like you feel sad, you're like, I'll poke out. That's funny, and then you're like, hey!
It's like the good one. Have you ever heard the? I was speaking to Carl the other week, and he was saying, did I tell you he left his job? No, or he's thinking of leaving his job. No, so he's thinking of leaving his job. And I was like, why? And he said basically because people always talk behind his back. And I was like, Carl, you're a bus driver, wise up. That was good.
That's shocking.
That was amazing.
That's almost as bad as
I had you there. I had you on the story.
That is so bad. I was serious. A bus driver. I was like, "He's a bus driver."
He is a bus driver.
Is he?
Yeah, it's his actual job.
No, he's not.
It is.
Oh
It's
my
his actual
god,
job.
that's unreal.
It's his actual job.
But no, that's as bad as their puns.
I know, but that one was funny.
You're like the
Because
Rapunzel
you
of
get.
puns.
I know. No, I can't make that work. But you, am I joking?
Okay.
but yeah, that I thought that joke was good. But
Okay,
that's
well-
not all quite off a penguin. So
No, definitely not.
favorite biscuit though. What is it?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Go for
See, I don't know because this is I had this biscuit years ago, and I was near sure it was called a bingo. What did you do? Did you break something?
it. No, I kicked the remote by accident.
I'm pretty sure it was called a bingo, but it might not.
Oh,
have been.
those we've spoke about those.
We have spoken with them, but were they called bingos?
I don't know. I've never,
That's the problem.
I've still never heard of them.
I've tried to Google it and nothing's like ever there.
I don't think they were. BNBNs were good.
Strawberry or chocolate?
Chocolate.
I agree. Yeah, strawberry ones were disgusting.
You actually sounded disgusting.
They were awful.
What about toffee pops? How do you feel about toffee pops?
No.
I love toffee pops.
I just don't like the consistency because whenever you bite into them, you get everywhere.
Yeah,
And then
they are good. I do like them though. Right, favorite biscuit. What are you going
I'm
for?
trying to think. I was hoping I would stall for that story, but
Pepperami.
Is it pepperoni?
No,
I like our pepperoni biscuits.
I don't know what I'd go for.
Jimmy Wabs. I see. Okay, well, to be fair, Jaffa cakes. But then again, that would come down to is Jaffa cake a biscuit, and I think it is because, like you said,
Sold in the biscuit aisle, so I will give you it.
but then tea cakes aren't. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
But it has to be the marshmallowy tea cake in the middle. No, not like the foamy one. No, like a foamy one.
in the middle,
No, but you know where like you bite in.
there's
to
the
the
jam
thing.
ones you can get. You know,
What?
you can get jam tea cakes as well.
No, I don't know.
You can get the marshmallow, then inside it's little jam.
No, I don't mean the marshmallow. I mean the one that's like a coconut on top. And you bite in and you can like lick the whole thing out, the foam out.
Oh, dude,
You can
God
lick
help
this-
me if Rick's ever watching you eat one of
Oh
them.
my goodness! It's not marshmallow. It's like a foamy stuff inside,
Is this?
and you can like scoop. Oh my god! And you can inside the biscuit thing.
Is that what you call it?
You can. Well, either way, it's not my favorite, but it is far better than the tea cake. Honestly, I'd probably go for
Penguins.
Rockies are good though.
Yeah, but Rockies. Did you ever have the Coke Rockies?
Oh,
Oh, they were awful.
no.
Absolutely disgusting. It was like popping candy, but they were so sour.
Best biscuit. German biscuits are good, but that's more bakery stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Um,
I'd say Jaffa cakes myself because they're amazing. And you get like 3 different things. And you get the dark chocolate, the cake, and then you get the
orange.
jelly.
Yeah, the orange. I won't copy it, but they are definitely up there for me because I think Java cakes are unreal.
Yeah.
Probably chocolate fingers. I do enjoy the wee straw-like thing I make.
Well, just don't tickle your lips next time you do it.
That literally was the tickliest thing ever.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Then we'll leave that one there and your tickle your lips thing, Clark, and we'll catch you again in part 3. Oh, grim. Welcome back to part 3. It's a very long one. So the season of opulence is almost upon us.
It is. Only a few days after this comes out, actually.
Yeah, 4th of June, isn't it?
Yep.
Lovely reset day that will be.
Mm-hmm.
Not. I mean, I quite like. Who was it said? Phil said about it the other day.
Sent in the wee
The wee
video of it.
Twitter thingy.
Yep.
Yeah.
No Vidoc though yet.
No, only the.
We're obviously talking about Destiny for anyone that doesn't know.
Oh yeah, right now. Probably should have said that right now for
Yeah.
sure. Anyway, well, to be fair, if you don't know, by this point, I mean, we're Destiny gamers now,
Yeah.
so
Primarily.
primarily Destiny gamers. But there was a video that was put on that little thing, but it wasn't much of a Vidoc. It was just more of a
Yeah, it was.
trailer type thing. I don't know if you're going to do a
Wasn't
Vidoc, are they?
At this stage, I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised to see one at the weekend.
Maybe on Monday. Yeah, maybe Sunday or Monday. Maybe they release one but they've got an awful lot of stuff. I think, and people were saying about this annual pass being such a pain in the butt
I'm on board now.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan at the start, but
Yeah.
because we had a brief discussion beforehand where we said because Forsaken was such a large expansion, that anything after was gonna be a bit disappointing. Well, not disappointing, but it was gonna pale in comparison. So basically, what was the first one? Why has my head gone blank? Black Armory.
Black Armory.
Whenever Black Armory came out, everyone had really high expectations, and it sort of pissed everyone off because you couldn't do half the stuff until. And then the next one, obviously, Jupiter's Wild has been a bit better because I think everyone's expectations were a bit tampered.
They were low.
In comparison, and then this one, I think everyone's just a bit more ready for it.
See, what would you prefer between Black Armory and Jupiter's Wild?
I don't know.
I'd probably say Black Armory because I think having a DLC solely based on one game mode that no one's really had that much time with, if you know what I mean, like
which one did I prefer?
It was out, but they changed it up with having Gambit Prime. It was okay. Don't get me wrong. It was fun and stuff, but
I don't think you should in this.
But there would be because they don't have anything else to do they? That's the thing. They had Gambit Prime and they had all these weapons come out with them.
New raid too.
Yeah, but
or was that out with Black Armory?
Scourge of the Past.
Black Armory.
It was Black Armory, yeah.
Black Armory probably came with more then, but as Gambit or as Season of the Drifter not have more exotic quests?
It did, yeah, but for for what you used though, you didn't really use the nothing really. You didn't use half of the weapons. I mean,
no, I've put it in my vault already.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for Thorn because it's pretty good. But.
Thorn it's fun. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think Black Armory was better because it had the weapons. Like all the weapons were good. Like the Hammerhead's still pretty cool. Blast Furnace is still pretty cool.
Yeah. Hammerhead's still very viable, and so is Blast Furnace. So
exactly. So I would say they're up there for me.
Jotun
but then again,
still very usable.
We did have that Outbreak Prime as well for the.
That was good. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But I think, well, I suppose it was at the right time. So if it came any earlier, we'd probably be done with this DLC.
Yeah, I mean, talking about spacing, obviously the way it's sort of spaced out. So drops June 4th. Comes with the Crown of Sorrow raid for anybody that wants to try it day one, and the Menagerie. We'll talk a bit more about the raid in a minute. June 11th, so the following week, there's a new Menagerie boss, and the Truth Quest comes out. Anyone that played D1 will know all about Truth. What a great weapon that was, the rocket launcher. Yeah. June 18th, there's another Menagerie boss and Iron Banner quest, which is new. Mm-hmm. June 25th, there's the Menagerie heroic mode. July 2nd, there's the Lumina quest, which is a hand cannon, sort of looks like a melted. The only way I think of it, it honestly looks like a melted Malfeasance.
It looks a bit like Thorn and Malfeasance melded together, doesn't it?
Could be Rose.
True.
It looks sort of potentially made like Rose. And then July 9th, we have the Tribute Hall and Moments of Triumph. And then we've got a 3-week wait until the Solstice of Heroes, where it says they're free to all. Is that what that says? Gambit free to all?
Yeah, Gambit's free to all, yeah.
So basically we've got something new every single week right up until July 9th, and then there's a bit of a gap. So you could almost, if there's some things you don't get to do, you've got a 3-week gap. But then the only thing is from July to September you know, they've got to fill some stuff if they're going to do
they'll probably have certain events, like they'll
probably throw in another random exotic quest, almost certainly. Probably. They love doing that.
Probably. So it is an awful lot of stuff, though. I mean, it all depends how well the Menagerie goes down, doesn't it? I mean, if you think about it, that is the DLC.
Pretty much. We've mentioned it 4 times, but the thing, obviously, the Crown of Sorrow raid dropping day 1. Everyone has to finish the quest, and then after that, each boss is level locked anyway, so you can't level up. It will make no difference.
Yeah,
I think it starts at 700, and the final boss is 720.
Would it be 720? The max level 750.
Could be 740 in the final boss.
Yeah, possibly.
But whatever, I can't remember exactly what figure it was, but the first boss was almost definitely 700.
Yeah.
But it basically means it doesn't matter if you hold all your powerfuls and you're 750 going in day 1, probably not going to happen because I don't think you can do that anymore. But even if you did, that's one thing they've sort of fixed with the race to worlds first will not matter.
And the
really, which is cool. But Menagerie, what do you know?
Very little really. It just seems to be it's just another 6-man game mode. The only thing that's really worrying me is the heroic mode is not match made. So, and we don't really have the big enough clan. we have literally
we have
6.
8-9 members, but only 6 active. It's not a big
clan. 5, maybe 5 or 6 active. Like, so we literally need to be all free at least one time to do it at least once, which
is usually a choice between a raid or something else
or Menagerie.
Yeah.
But then again, if Menagerie isn't that good, then the DLC is not going to be that good, though, is it?
Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of the 7 that have Menagerie mentioned.
Yeah.
So
it is all down to the Menagerie. Like, so if you don't enjoy it and it's not good, then I assume that's basically what's gonna either make or break this DLC for you, really. But I mean, I'll still play the game because I'm just a Destiny whore at the moment.
It's quite interesting because Menagerie, I've just googled to get an actual definition. We do love them here. So a menagerie is a collection of captive animals, frequently exotic, kept for display, or the place where such a collection is kept. Now, obviously we know what Callus is like from the Leviathan raid, where he said he wanted hunters to like run his like missions, etc. for him, warlocks to be his mind, his thinkers, his scientists, and titans to basically be his army. So, or along those lines anyway. So there's a chance that the Menagerie is him basically observing us, but equally he could also have Hive, Vex, Cabal, obviously. Taken. He could have every enemy in there. And for all we know, later on in the Menagerie is where they could maybe introduce new enemies. That
potentially, I mean, maybe something we haven't actually seen in the solar system or anything like that yet.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of potential in there that basically we
Well, what's that then? There'd be 3 bosses then in general.
1, 2, 3, and then potentially a new one for heroic.
So 4 new bosses really that you're gonna get,
and that would be Hive, Cabal, Taken, Fallen.
You would assume so.
It's the 4, aren't they? So.
Yeah, and then you've got obviously the Crown of Sorrow as well on top of that. So there's plenty to do. Like, and obviously you're not going to get everything done on June 4th.
No.
So
obviously these are all time. That's what I quite like. The one thing I remember everyone was sort of, oh, why is this all time gated?
Like
at the start of Age of Black Armory. Yeah, my goodness. Of Black Armory was, well, I want it now. Why do I have to wait? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Because everything with Forsaken was just get through the story. There's a lot. Get your 1,000 voices. Once the raid's done, there you go. You're done.
Yeah.
Whereas I think this is now a lot more. This caters to more players.
Yeah.
And I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
Because as everyone in the clan knows, I literally only went through and only really finished those exotic quests recently because I haven't had time. I was more focused on trying to keep up in terms of level than I was in terms of getting these weapons. Whereas this will mean for the first week I'll be able to push on, do the levels.
Yeah.
Next week push on, do levels while doing the truth quest, while doing the Menagerie boss. Again, the next week jump into a bit of banner, all the way through. Like, I'll be able to hopefully time this, so
yeah. Well, I mean,
and everyone that's hardcore will be able to go in, smash it, get max level in the first week probably. Or very close to.
At least try to anyway. Yeah.
Although the only thing, did you read the stuff about Gambit in the TWAB?
No.
So they're trying to push you away from Gambit now. So Gambit powerfuls after level 700 are gonna give you a reduced power level boost.
Oh right.
And then anything over
that's alright.
720 I think is even less again.
That's right.
So it might only be like 1 if you play like for your daily and you're expecting like a 5 jump. You might like say you're 727.
Yeah.
Your Gambit drop might be a 728
or 727
or 727.
That's alright. I don't really mind because Gambit's not like I went off Gambit from that. I think that's the problem with that DLC is what they basically forced you to play it that much that you're gonna get sick of it unless you really are into it that much, which I wasn't. I wasn't invested in Gambit at all.
I just need the 4 super kills when I'm done.
For dredging, yeah. It's it works because it buys them time, because they have all this plan that's all going to be released and blah blah blah. They can focus on it whenever it's released. They can put fixes down and patches and whatnot, and it means they can also focus on the future for whatever else they want to create.
Yeah.
And it means that we're not asking them constantly for more things. Well, certainly we aren't, because we don't need to have everything drop on the first day. We're like, I want to work, you know.
No, I'm happy with how Destiny's going right now. I think it's in a good place, and
apart from the nerfs are a pain.
But see, to be honest with you, just use other things.
No, I know that, but it's tough whenever, like, to me, Destiny's all about fun.
Yeah.
And whenever they nerfed the Ursas, which you got literally nothing back. Like, I love popping supers. Yeah. What is the like? You're going to be using it in strikes mostly anyway because they're fun. So why
they'll have figured something in the raid? They'll have played the raid and found it far too easy with those exact exotics.
Probably, like, yeah, but I just wish they had if they had like a boost thing or something, like I don't know, like what was it they had for the strikes, where you could put, what do you call that card? The Nightfall card thing.
Oh, the 5 of Swords?
Yeah, you could put like the likes of like Solar Burn, and you could put all, like, why can't they have that for like everything? And it means you can have,
because then you couldn't match make with others.
What do you mean?
Like, if do you not have to have the same 5 of Swords on?
Oh, no, not like that. Like, I mean, if you had like strikes,
no, you don't have to have the same 5 of Swords on.
No, because it's the host that has it.
Yeah.
The host one is the main one for all 3 people in that party.
But then why do I still have to change mine?
You don't. It's just in case.
Oh, okay.
We're just
being careful.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But like, I mean, like, in the likes of, if you were to have a strike, when I have like a customized strike, maybe you get like half the amount of XP or whatever. But you get to have all the original exotic things, where you have your Ursas that do get all the stuff, you know, get all your super back, and you can just throw supers left, right, and the center, and then have like your Skull of Dire and Kara and your Blade Barrages and stuff. And they all bring everything back, and
we don't know how bad it's gonna be. That's the thing. Like, but it might still, like, for example, I just started using that skull recently.
It's unreal.
It is very good, but only, like, I knew it was good from before, but
but it's so much fun though whenever they
But I used it in like a story mission, you know, the daily heroic one, or not daily, but the weekly heroic one you do for Petra.
Yeah.
And I threw it into a group of enemies, and I instantly had another one.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even like a slow return, like the barrage or like anything. Yeah. It was straight away. Yeah. So I could go into the next one, it was like, and then instantly had another one.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why that's a bit much.
I don't understand why.
And like, equally with,
but it is fun.
It is, but it makes the game very easy. And then equally with what do you call those legs? The hunter legs I never use.
I wouldn't know. I don't really play
Orpheus Rig.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
With Orpheus Rig,
but I think they're okay. That's what they're
meant
to do.
Instantaneous super constantly.
Yeah.
And I reckon there's going to be something in this raid that there's going to be a part where like Thrall are coming at you constantly, and it would just be like catch dead, and it's just pointless. So I wouldn't be surprised if, or something like that's just a guess.
No, like, well, that makes
it wouldn't surprise me if they've played this and been like, look, this is very easy. If you could 2-man this with a Warlock and a Hunter. So
what I would say to that is just make it harder and not nerf things.
But then people be like, oh, this boss takes ages to kill. That's like whenever Valis Tarek in Destiny 1, do you remember how much health he used to have? And then they made him easier to kill, and he was much easier to kill, but beforehand he was very hard to kill. So like, it's finding that balance, which Destiny struggles to do with their enemies. So I think their safest option is to just go, look, we're not destroying them, but we're going to dial them back.
It just means that there's other exotics out there now that people that don't use them now will probably use them in the future, which is okay, I suppose. But I mean, I'm not, like, I'm still going to use like Yotan and stuff, and like, it doesn't really matter to me.
Like Whisper, for example, imagine a boss, you tether Nova Bomb while the other person's going toof, toof, toof repeatedly, bullets appearing out of nowhere for 2 car, you know it.
But that's its perk.
It is, but at the end of the day, like, again, like, even in is an Aggie Forge. Everyone just jumped up the top and just used it, and it was done.
See, I understand it to a point, but I think if you've tested these weapons over time and you know, and you're a specialist on them, blah blah blah, then release them in a current state that's going to be okay. And then once things do change, which I know they are, but I mean, just buff the enemy's health. Just buff the enemy's health. If that's the problem.
But again, everybody would have kicked off about that. What? I'm not strong enough to kill this boss now because I don't have that weapon in the first. You know, whereas if you just reduce the weapon and keep the boss the way it is, then other people can still kill the boss. Like, you just need to find another way to do it. If you're that good, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's just really annoying. It takes away some of the fun from getting supers back. Like I'm a Titan. I haven't got supers back in a long time. After Ursus, like I don't have anything.
They're actually really usable in
PvP.
The bridge. Oh my god, what do you call that bridge?
What bridge?
In the Reckoning.
Oh yeah, no, I know, yeah, but they're still not great.
Like Phil just had constant supers the other day.
Really?
He was just walking up, just going with his shield up, and we all just firing through it, and he was just doing this constant supers. But
well, that's not too bad. Then well, fair enough. Then I might have to use it.
I'll honestly ask him. Like he seemed to be having a good time.
I just don't ever seem to get that many things, but maybe I'm too offensive with it whenever I'm using it.
He was constantly blocking. That's all he did.
Yeah.
And then threw like the odd one at the end just to get a few kills. And then
yeah. I might start using it to be fair, but I mean I've always got the Hallowfire. Hallowfire is my go-to just for everything. Like it's unbelievable. But yeah, I am looking forward to the Season of Opulence. I am, but it's just I just hate when once they start nerfing things now. It's like, and they can't blame anyone else but themselves because there's no Activision anymore. But
true. I think it'll be balanced. I honestly do. I think this will balance things a bit more. Now I am put myself out there to be shot at, and this could be very wrong, but I honestly do. Happen. I just have a funny feeling that it'll they'll have made the changes. They'll annoy people now because it's relevant now that you can go in and you can do these things and you can kill such and such a boss with like one Nova Bomb or two Nova Bombs and a tether or whatever. But like, or equally the Reckoning, you can pretty much run that. Pardon me, with Orpheus and name another super. You know, it doesn't matter as long as it's defensive. Yeah. So like in changing some of these, I think it'll change the way the game's played a wee bit, and it may even change. It's not going to be a PvE meta change, as opposed to a PvP meta change. Yeah. So I think it'd be an interesting. I don't know. I'm keeping an open mind because I went into these last two DLCs with I've got so much to do. Yeah. Whereas this one I don't. Yeah. Because I took the time, so I've maybe got a slightly different mindset going into this one. But I have to say, I don't know how I'm going to feel about the Season of Drifter being over. I think it's been quite fun. Whereas Black Armory, I think because I wasn't used to the whole thing, I wasn't as bothered. So it'll be interesting to see how this whole thing pans out. And as we say, we went through that very briefly. I reckon there's going to be more stuff than just what we've listed. And it'll be cool to try a new exotic, see how good Truth is. Again. Yeah. You know, there's a whole pile of stuff we're gonna.
No, I am looking forward to it. I have to admit, but it is just you do have to keep an open mind with these things. But I mean, it could. We haven't played any of this yet, so obviously it could balance things out, and things could be a lot better whenever we're going into it. But
we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we could do. Well, if we record it on a Wednesday or a Thursday,
either. We'll do that. We'll have a wee discussion.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll sort that one out then. Oh yes, right enough. I have to do my thing, don't I?
Yes, do
my thing at the end. Yes, that's right. I forgot about that. My goodness, my goodness. Yes, so we always do a little quote or a joke, but we haven't done a joke in a long time, and today is not a joke. So,
I was expecting one there.
No, to be fair, we've already done like 3 or 4 dad jokes. To be fair, and he told me a really bad one. But I've got a little quote from Dita Von Teese.
Okay.
You know who that is?
No.
Neither do I. Some days are just bad days, that's all. You have to experience sadness to know happiness, and I remind myself that not every day is going to be a good day. That's just the way it is.
Nice.
Which, I mean, it's not like a philosophical quote, but it is true.
It is.
You know, you do have to remind yourself that not every day is going to be a good day. And I mean, I could go back home tomorrow being, this is a class night, we've had a good chat, blah blah blah. We got tomorrow, god awful.
Yeah, can't happen. Very easily.
So there you go.
Very easily. Like that wee quote to go.
Dita Von Teese, I think she's woman. So
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah. So thanks for joining us this week, folks, and we shall catch you in the next one.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
No booze this time.
Bye. 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 No.